Hello everyone, Nadim here with TXengineWerx. I've been having this conversation with a couple of my buddies, and we ride motorcycles and stuff. And uh, so some of the guys, they have never replaced brake fluid in their bikes. So, I try to explain to them that brake fluid is hygroscopic. What that means is it will absorb moisture from the atmosphere, and over time it will degrade. It will lose its power to work the hydraulic system. Now, this is not something that you will notice immediately because, it's like a suspension in a vehicle. It gradually deteriorates over time to where you don't feel it because it's like a frog boiling in a pot of water. The frog inside doesn't feel it until it's too late, and that's what happens with brake fluid. Is you have to replace it every few years. Now on my motorcycles, I replace it like every 2 years. I'll just bleed out the old one, put new one in there, so it's fresh fluid in there. And I try to use dot 4, which is synthetic based. Uh, I mean, that's that's an easy, low cost way to keep your equipment functioning the way you want it to. And this is especially important on, like if you're racing something, it's very important for that, extra performance. But in day-to-day lives, like in my truck, which is my daily driver, every 2 years I'll swap out that brake fluid. I mean, it's not that expensive. It doesn't hold that much brake fluid. Just replace it, and then you don't have to worry about it. All your seals, everything will remain good, and your brake system will keep functioning for a much longer time compared to if you never swap that fluid out. Now, I've seen motorcycles where I remember this one time we were riding to Big Bend, and one of my friends on a Yamaha sports bike, and his rear brake fluid, it was like black, and I was like, man, when was the last time you replaced that fluid? And it was like, no, I've never done it. I never used the rear brake. Okay. I mean, so yeah, on a bike, the front brake is what you use mostly. But the thing is, if you need to use it, can you rely on it? And that's the thing. So folks, don't you know I don't want to use the word lazy, but try to replace your fluids. They have a limited life, so replace them often. Use the best fluid you can get. I mean, with the science and technology the way it is right now, we have access to some of the best um, proven fluids out there, and yet a lot of people don't use them, or they will neglect the maintenance, which is there for a reason. We've come a long way back from the day when people used to put engine oil in open engines, and it used to just drain down on the road. This was before my lifetime. I'm not that old, but nowadays, I mean, we've come so far, and this is just something that technology gives us, and we should take advantage of this to keep, our daily drivers or our toys working in top shape. So I just wanted to make this video about the importance of changing fluids, not just your coolant, not just your engine oil, which is very important, not just your transmission oil, which is very important. Brake fluid, a lot of people forget that. Now, along with brake fluid goes, if your bike or car takes clutch fluid. So most bikes, if they have a hydraulic clutch, they'll use the same brake fluid on the clutch as well. So you got to replace all of that, and that way you're working in at peak performance without issues. You'll extend the life of your system. It's just a peace of mind, and of course, on top of that, better performance. So I just wanted to make this little video about that, how important it is to replace that fluid. Don't be like that guy with that black crusty fluid in the brakes, and never replace it until something goes wrong, and then you kind of figure out, oh well, now I have to replace all the seals and service the whole system because somebody didn't replace the fluid. If you have power steering, you got to do the same thing with power steering. Replace that fluid. I know some vehicles out there, they don't give you an easy way to replace the power steering fluid. It's like a sealed system. Anything that takes fluid is not sealed, should not be sealed. BMW proved that when they came out with their sealed final drives and they started failing left and right. So that's a conversation for another day, but anything that has liquid in it, that has some kind of oil or fluid in it, it's not a sealed system. Even if the manufacturer says it's a sealed system, you need to figure out a way to replace that fluid. It has a limited life. So folks, hope everybody made it through the bad weather. I know I made another videos, and everybody I've talked to, they've been safe, no issues. So everyone have a good day, and be safe out there.